Hi everyone, here's a quick video on how to construct this sort of backwards L simple shape parametrically in Onshape. Uh, Basically what you want to do is start a new sketch. You want to open a new document. So I was in here and I created a new document and I called it backwards parametric L. Okay, now I'm going to look right at the front plane, but I'm going to not start the sketch yet. So that's important. What I'm going to do first is define a variable. So I've got to go find my variable tool. I think it's in this menu here. No, there it is. It's right in this menu here, right down here, where there's an X variable. And so I'm going to call this one. So I'm looking at the picture up here in the upper right. I have a small copy of it so that I can refer to it as I draw. And the height is what's given as 3 inches. So that's the variable that we're going to denote right here. We're going to just call it h. Okay? And we're going to give it a value of whatever is stated, which is 3 inches, and check. Okay, so now we've done that variable, and we're going to do the rest parametrically. Right? And so the width is 2/3 of the height. Now that we've done this, we've put this variable in here, we can go ahead and start our sketch. Sketch plane, how about front, and get this out of my way a little bit. I'm going to draw the width of this thing. Oh, no, I'm going to draw the height first, right? So I'm going to draw that line first, and that's just the 3-inch line. That's the given. So I'm going to choose my line tool, and just like we often do, we start going up, and once we know it's vertical, just click on it, and look, it's looking for an input in that gray box. So this part is a little bit weird, but what you do is just hit any number like a 1 and then delete. And then the pound symbol, also known as the hashtag, pound symbol and choose H. Right? And then hit return. Now, the reason I had to hit a 1 first and then back out was because a lot of these keyboard symbols and letters and numbers and stuff, they have keyboard shortcuts, and so I believe that the pound symbol, the hashtag, is rotate. I could be wrong about that, but it's definitely a keyboard shortcut. And so if we just type it, it won't know it, but if we put a value into the box, it'll sort of be a heads up for Onshape that we're entering. What we enter next is it's a dimension variable, right? It's a dimension and not a keyboard shortcut to rotate. So here's more, right? So now I'm going to draw this line here, this width, and I'm just going to start at the origin and go off to the left here, some arbitrary number. And again, there's the gray box looking for input, and it says here the width is 2/3 of the height. So I'm going to actually type a 1 and then delete it. Now I'm going to type pound symbol H, okay, times 2/3. So it's that value, whatever that value is currently 3, but it's that value times 2/3. So Shift 8 gives us the little star there, times, and then open parentheses 2/3, close parentheses, and that's the dimension. It's H times 2/3. It's the original height times 2/3. So 2/3 is the original height. And there it is. Okay. Now, and then I go up 1/3 of the height here. I go up 1/3 of the height here. So I get it vertical. I hit a 1. I delete it, and I type hashtag H times 1/3 times. Oops, it's the wrong one. Times 1/3. And I hit enter, and it puts it at that height. And let's see, we go in another third here. So boom, we hit the 1, back out of it, hashtag H times, we're at 1/3 again, 1/3, and hit enter, okay? And now we're going to go up right to the top here. I could eyeball it because it's right on that line, but I'm going to just go here and do it parametrically. 1, delete, pound symbol, h, and this is going to be 2/3, right? So because if this is the full length, 3/3, if that's the full length, and this is 1/3 of that, then this is the other 2/3 of that length. So h times 2/3, again, 2/3, close them out, enter, brings it right up to the top. Now this one we can run right over here and just click at that spot, and we're done. Well, at least with the sketch part. Okay, now we finish our sketch, we choose our object, we extrude it, and let's see, it's not 1 inch though, so we've got to change this to a parametric. It's going to be hashtag h times something. Let's figure this out. The depth is 90% of its width, and the width is 2/3 of its height. So it's h times 2/3. So there's the width, right? Right, 2/3 of height. So height times 2/3. There's the width, but it's 90. The depth is 90% of its width. So times 2/3 times 0.9. Right, and that should do it. That's 90% of the width, right? And I hit OK, and it looks like it took. Yesterday when I tried it, it all went red, but there it is. It looks like it took this time, and I somehow messed up. Okay, back to here quickly. Boom. It's hashtag h times the width. The width is h times 2/3. Sorry about this, guys. Times 0.90% of the width, and enter, and OK. There we go. I must have done something wrong that first time through. But again, the big deal here is, not that it's a complex shape, it's pretty straightforward stuff, really. But the big deal here is if I go change this, from 3 inches to say, I don't know, how about 1 inch? And I hit OK. The thing is, it's to the exact same scale, right? So I just resized the whole thing by changing one parameter, by changing just that height, right? So I just, and I can go here, edit, and I can change it to, I don't know, gosh, how about 6 inches? 6 inches, much bigger. And there it is. And so everything, all the ratios are the same now, and we can change them all together just by changing that one. So you can imagine that if you had a really complex drawing with lots of different dimensions, and you need to scale up or down, well, it would be really, really hard to go through and change lots and lots of dimensions to your new scale. But if you did the whole thing parametrically, you just have to change that one dimension to scale it up or to scale it down, and everything else changes and stays in proportion. Right? So there's a quick intro to parametric modeling. Why don't you give this one a try also? Just follow me right through it, and then move on to the second one and see if you can do that one too. Okay, great. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.